Here we have a time, distance, and rate problem. In this case, we've got a basketball team that was anxious to get to the game, so they averaged 45 miles an hour. They lost and were in no hurry to return, so they averaged 30 miles per hour returning. If the entire trip took 2 hours, how far was it to the game? When we encounter a problem like this, we found it easy to conceptualize things and to find out what we're looking for. If you remember, if we go 100 miles at 50 miles an hour, it's going to take 2 hours. Within that configuration, we can substitute and see what we need to look for. In this case, they were going X miles at 45 miles per hour plus X miles at 30 miles per hour, and it took them 2 hours. When we work on this, we want to find the least common denominator so we can solve for X. We find the least common denominator is 90. So we get 2X plus 3X equals 180. Multiplying through by 90. That tells us 5x equals 180. So x, the number of miles they traveled, is 36. This is another one of those time, distance, rate problems. In this case, how many minutes will it take Lauren to drive 20 miles if she's driving 60 miles per hour? Remember the configuration we were working with. You go 100 miles at 50 miles per hour, it'll take you 2 hours. In this case, she's going to go 20 miles at 60 miles per hour. Well, if we divide that through, that's going to take her 1/3 of an hour. 1/3 of an hour is 1/3 of 60, which is 20 minutes. This is a little bit of a variation on the traditional time, distance, rate problem. It still helps us if we remember that if you go 100 miles at 50 miles per hour, it takes you 2 hours. Helps us keep our configuration together. Well, Starla and Liz began running a 60-yard race at the same time. Liz finished 5 yards ahead of Starla. If she finished the race in 9 seconds, what was the difference in their rate in yards per second for those 9 seconds? This problem looks hard until you realize there's a logical way to look at it. Liz finished the race 5 yards ahead of Starla. So in 9 seconds, Liz ran 60 yards. But Starla only ran 55 because she ran 5 yards less. Well, the rate that Liz was running at was 60 yards in 9 seconds, and Starla was 55 yards in 9 seconds. So the difference in their rate in yards per second was 5 ninths. See, it's easy if you conceptualize it correctly.